Hello again, everyone, and welcome to The Crusher. I'm your host, Josh Brewster, with my co-host, Susan Olson. Susan, how you doing today?
Good, thank you. How are you?
I'm doing just fine. Well, here we are, and there's so much to get to. Folks, that we're gonna get to our normal jihad-related and end of times-related discussions and what the hell is wrong with the world discussion. Susan wanted to bring something up, so we'll start with Susan.
I don't know. It's just burning. My sister's still staying with me, and I'm making coffee, and she came in and she goes, "I want to get you this shirt," and she's being sarcastic because we are the family of sarcasm, and I look, and it's a cat shirt, cats all over it because I am a cat lady, but I'm not childless. Um, and it says pussies. Oh wait, no, it says cats who hate Trump because we don't like being grabbed. um, I just and she starts going off, and I'm going off. We're going. He never said he did that. She goes, I've never heard anybody dispute it. I have, and it was our not good friend Ann Coulter. He said with incredulity that he could. He didn't say he did. He said he could. And I know he's right. I've got enough rock star friends to know how women behave around rich and powerful men.
Yeah.
I mean, they don't even have to reach out and grab. It's just suddenly all over them.
No, folks, if you get your kids a guitar, get your young sons a guitar. If they're at all awkward around young women, just buy them a guitar and just walk around with the guitar. Go ahead.
That's how Adam Clayton of U2,
Oh, did he?
the bass player, that's how he got in the band. He used to walk around school with an empty guitar case.
There you go.
So he could look cool.
Absolutely. And guys, just go out to the park and bring a guitar and sit there and strum it like you're practicing your latest love song. And oh, by the way, I have one other recommendation, Susan.
Yes.
You know what's another great job for young men who maybe they're awkward around women and they want to have some more success? This is the best job. It's straight out of Warren Beatty and Shampoo. The best job, if you want the attention of a lot of women, is it's even bigger than rock star. It's straight male hairdresser. If you can be a straight male hairdresser, there will be an incredible line of women for you. I know a guy. I know a guy back in Buffalo, New York, and he's fighting them off like flies, and has been for decades. And straight male hairdresser.
Wow.
Yeah, because you're touching the hair.
Equestrian is good too, but it's expensive.
What's that?
There's never any boys in horseback riding.
Oh,
and
horseback
yet
riding.
they're the ones that make it to the Olympics.
Ah.
So I don't quite get that.
Well,
and the band thing isn't working these days. The kids are so warped.
What's not working?
Girls aren't into bands anymore.
Oh, into the bands? No?
Yeah. That's a sign of the apocalypse, I think.
Do you think it's because of Pro Tools? Are they more jazzed by Pro Tools?
Or just that all the men are tools.
I
don't know. There aren't bands. It's like, once Auto-Tune made the scene, people just put sound together and call it music. And so there isn't this like band thing.
Yeah, it's like going out to see this great new band is not a thing. You've got the Spotify and all the on-demand everything. And there's no rallying around a band like your local band, like I'll give you.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
It's interesting. Like
I have.
No, go ahead.
I have scenes I've written and they don't play anymore because the girls aren't into that.
Do you feel achy throughout the day? Are those old bones and joints not working the way that they used to? Try Placebo Factor. Placebo Factor is a unique blend of vitamins and minerals that is purely proprietary and not tested by any federal agency. Placebo Factor does not work on cats. Don't be a schmuck. Try Placebo Factor. Your friends love Placebo Factor and so will you. Brought to you by Dr. Dumpenstein Industry. Placebo Factor. So, Susan, what you're saying is something is lost when the kids in the community aren't latching onto a band and they go out to see a band and rally around that band. It's this on-demand world we're living in.
Well, okay, you said it on demand. Kids are not experiencing delaying gratification,
Yeah.
which, as anybody will tell you, delayed gratification is one of the greatest things you can teach your child. You've got your phone, you can press anything, you can watch whatever you want, whenever you want, hear whatever you want, whenever you want. There's no longer, oh, it's Friday night, that show is going to be on.
Yeah.
Or going to school the next day, and of course, kids aren't even going to school the next day. So many are being homeschooled, and I don't blame their parents for homeschooling them.
Yeah,
Because
we don't rally. Yeah, we don't rally around a lot anymore, and we just don't rally around a lot of things anymore as a people. We all used to get together to watch part two.
we do, but they're stupid
Like what?
things. Look at how much people are rallying around camel crap.
Yeah, well, she's a disaster, and I think she's I think she's a good indication of this country being a disaster. We'll get to that. I want to rate. You know what I want to bitch about? I want to bitch.
It doesn't stay away from politics for long.
No. I want to bitch about some things this morning because I think it's very very important. I don't know if you'll identify this. I have Ralph's rage. You heard of road rage? I have Ralph's rage.
Yeah.
I'm really fucking done. I'm really done with these supermarkets. It's all checking out your own bags, your own groceries. You're scanning. You're looking up the produce. You got to look it up yourself at Ralph's. And then there's nobody there to bag, like to help the lady who's checking you out. If you are online, to check you out and bag your groceries. I think Ralph sucks. I shop now mostly at Trader Joe's because they have nice people. They actually check you out. They actually bag your groceries. And I'm getting to be a crotchety old middle-aged guy now because I absolutely fucking hate Ralph's. Ralph's, fuck you. I hate you. It sucks to shop there. There's nothing but lines. If you actually have a line, a check a register open, if you actually have one open and you don't have to do it yourself, there's nothing but lines. But I hate Ralph's. That's my speech for today. I hate it. I think the grocery store sucks.
Gosh, I so rarely go to where they would bag my groceries. My Ralph still does, but I'm usually in the self checkout line because I get a few things at a time because I can only afford a few things at a time. Um, but what I don't like are these. Okay, they brought in the card, so if you're a loyal Ralph shopper, you get the special deals. Okay, I can hang with that. Although my manager was proven correct when he said that's an invasion of your privacy, and it will be used against you because they have your shopping trends. Sure enough, a man tried to do a slip and sue, and they used his shopping habits to show that he was an alcoholic and that he was drunk at the time that he fell down. um, I'm like, okay, I don't have anything to hide. I'm fine with the discount. But now you have to do your app, and you have to take a picture, and there's so much time wasted by people like me going, getting up to the line, going,
I don't know how to.
I don't know
That's
how to do
that's me.
this.
I walk up and I say, "Can you help me?" I don't know. I don't know how to do it.
Yeah, and then you got all these young people behind you going,
and, and I also want to say, I'm getting sick of shopping. I'm getting sick of the malls. I don't know if you've been out to, like, you go to Best Buy or you go to some store somewhere because you want to buy something and they don't have it or they can't find it. And then the kid says to you, "Hey, have you checked online?" And I'm like, I'm in the store. I drove 20 minutes to get to the store and you're asking me why I didn't look online. And people are concerned, oh, the malls are closing. Close the malls if this is what it's going to come down to.
They are.
3 out of 5 times I walk into a store now, the schmuck asks me, "Did you check online?" What do you think I would have gotten off the couch If I would, I'm in the store. That's what I'm saying. I'm in the store. I
Yeah.
came to the store to support you in your job. I'm in the store. Thank you. Find me what I need.
Yeah. Well, I might not be able to help you a whole lot here because a lot of people don't realize is that I am the perfect woman because I hate shopping.
Ah, well, that's not,
Hate
see,
shopping.
that's
Hate
nice.
it, hate it.
That's nice.
Hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it, hate it.
That's nice.
And if I can get something online,
Yeah.
unfortunately, I know it's not very patriotic of me,
Why?
but the COVID crap um,
You do it.
drove everybody into their homes. Well, I was already there. I'm already social
I, I,
distancing by nature.
I always tell my boys, if you need to shop, if you need to go get clothes or something, come with me. The whole experience will be about 13 minutes. If you go with your mom, you're going to be there for 4 or 5 hours. But that's interesting. So, but you don't have that gene. You don't have that gene.
I like to buy
Yeah.
stuff, but no, I don't. Oh God, the worst is my brother because I went out with him. I think I was 15, and now I'll be 63 soon. I I haven't done it since. He's buying glasses, drinking glasses. He had to go through every box to make sure which one had abnormalities and which was the best and which weighed the most. And he's a careful shopper. I'm like, I just want to go home. I'll buy whatever. And I have, since I started shopping at Amazon, that's just it. And I find I save money because I'm not at the store going, oh, shiny. Oh, well, look at that. I need that. Then I don't need
No,
it.
listen, I get it. I get it. All right. Well, listen, let's talk about some world events. And you mentioned not having the shopping gene, so that brings me
Mhm.
to the topic of what gene do you have? Biological males were beating the crap out of women at the Olympics this week. We had some boxing matches where the woman had never been hit so hard because I guess the biological male had gone into the ring. This is just another sign, Susan, of the, I'll just call it the cultural Marxist destruction of all norms. And as I think I've mentioned to you before, if there are trans people, there really is nowhere in life that is you can't function or you can't do whatever you need to do as a trans person, any occupation you can have. But when it comes to sports, I think it's time for some acceptance on the part of the trans community. You just have to accept you either start a transsexual division or you stop beating the crap out of women in the ring. That's my speech.
Yeah.
We're bonkers. France is freaking bonkers. The opening ceremony was bonkers. What are your thoughts about having a boxing match with a biological male? That's to me, it's insane.
Well, to me, I mean, I think that if you could just really present to people, if people would all gather around and watch the same thing on the same night, if you could present to them what the cultural Marxist plan is and make them feel like complete idiots for swallowing it, because you're either selling propaganda or you're falling for it if you're into any of this stuff, because this is why we have divisions in sports, women's and men's sports. And anybody that dares to take the moral high ground and go, she was raised a female. No, I'm sorry. Either you're on steroids and you don't pass the test, or you're on hormones, or you have naturally. I know somebody who naturally has a man's level of hormones, but um, X two X chromosomes. Um, but she is trans. He is trans. I get confused. Anyway, you can't have it all.
No, you can't.
Sorry, you decide to change your sex, you're gonna have to forgo that sports career. And any man, any biological male who wants to compete in a women's division is what has always been known by one word: cheater. Okay, you're cheating.
100%. 100%. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree. The crowd loves you. I agree 100%.
Well, And there's a Leah Thomas graphic that it's a meme I wish I made. But it's her on a box of Wheaties, but it says Cheaties. That's it. You're cheating. You should be ashamed of yourself. And if you haven't whacked off your dick, you need to have it whacked because you don't deserve it.
No, I said, listen, I said LA Fitness and all these gyms, put someone right near the door of the women's locker room. You want to go in the women's locker room, you gotta chop your cock off. Have a medical crew right there, and then go right ahead.
There's a guillotine. I could design it.
You would need a few different sizes of guillotines, depending on the guy. But yeah, well, that's the way it is. So, well, listen, we've got an interesting situation brewing. Kamala Harris, you alluded to earlier, she is having the honeymoon, the never-ending honeymoon. Ben Shapiro wondered this out loud, and I think he is 100% right. She has not answered any questions. She is because of the truncated election, just 3 months or whatever until the election. She is going to try to go the next 12 weeks and not answer any questions. And she's going to try to go in there, and she is going to be the I'm female and I'm not white, and vote for me on the basis of that. I have some things I want to talk about, but what do you think about where we stand right now with Kamala? Because I think we do tribute to stupidity. I think there's a whole lot of stupid, and they're going to overlook a whole lot of failure and yank the lever for this symbol.
Well, if anybody out there hasn't yet seen Idiocracy,
I have not seen it. I need to see it. I need to watch.
Oh, you need to watch. You need to watch it. I think Cherie hasn't seen it. We need to have a party. Basically, what they're going to try to do is get somebody elected completely on hype and absolutely no substance. So the president in Idiocracy, he's like no, whatever. He's like a wrestler. You know, he gets up there, he's got guns, and he's black, and he's really good looking, and it's all hype. It's complete hype. There's no substance at all, and that's what we have now. And I'm sorry, but I was thinking about them for my tribute to stupidity, but this is why I don't like feminists, because I think they shoot us all in the foot more than they help. This whole, she's got a pussy, so I'm with her. The wrong woman can set us back like crazy, you know, and she's the wrong woman. She always was. And the hypocrisy of the left, there's no end to it. Look at these people, the woman saying to Donald Trump, and are you calling Kamala a DEI hire? Like that's a bad thing. Wait a minute. You guys invented it.
Joe Biden said that's what she was. That's what I wish Trump would have said. Joe Biden said that's what she was. He said, I'm going to have a woman of color. So there you go. It's not on merit. It wasn't on merit.
No, he absolutely announced it, and everybody went, you know, if I had a nickel for every time Trump doesn't answer a question, or every time that I wish I had a microphone going right into his ear.
No, I know. They're going to...
Don't say the stupid thing.
No, they're going to have to do that.
Say the smart thing. You have a perfect opportunity.
No, I know. I agree. Susan, I agree 100%. There's so many times when someone needs to craft what's coming out of his mouth, and I'm losing faith that they can do that. There's a book I'm about to get called Progressively Worse that Joe Concha wrote. I can't wait to read it because he just came out and he's saying, you know, I'm going to show you. One of the things he's saying is I'm going to show you what JFK believed in, and now I'm going to show you what Donald Trump believes in, and you're going to realize that JFK was MAGA, and that Trump is a moderate. Trump is a moderate, and we're really far gone.
It's just common sense. Look, but he doesn't seem to have any when it comes to his brain and his mouth.
They better come out with some ads. Look,
I'll train him.
I know,
I'll give him media
I
training.
volunteer. Look, she talks like every leftist talks about root causes, and we're going to make Central America so much nicer that people aren't going to want to come here. You see, so that's why you don't need a wall, which is insane. And I'm just going to remind everyone: you can pave the streets of Guatemala with gold, and they will still flock here. Okay. And now the media is saying, oh, no, she believes in border security. Oh, no, she's not that much into the Green New Deal. No, she didn't want to defund the police. It's
Lies.
all lies. And there
Yes.
is such a pile of failure. This is like Jimmy Carter. This is such a failure, Susan, but what's disappointing me is that it's just going to be this surface vote. These people voting for the
Yes.
symbol.
Low information people that have the
It's
same vote. Your voting power should be based on how much research you do.
no,
um,
it's symbols, and
yeah, because the person that goes, I like her dress.
she's good
I'm gonna
looking.
vote for her.
She's good
They
looking.
have the same vote that you and I have.
Yeah, no,
And I was going to start a campaign called "Just Stay Home." Like MTV has "Rock the Vote" and show all the reasons why. There's good cartoons on
that's right.
TV. There's this you can
That's
do.
right.
You can
You can order
exercise.
from
You could
Amazon.
have a
You
cat.
can order from Amazon all day. No,
Yes. But then they made
but
the vote mail-in ballots, so everybody does
all right.
stay
Well,
home.
listen, I can't wait to see Trump's ads because his team is caught flat-footed, and they better lay out, here's the dollar amount that we're giving for hotels for illegals. Here's the dollar amount for the meals for the illegals. And here's the thing, Susan.
Yeah.
I'm really worried that people are going to disregard the facts.
Facts.
And look, this isn't a joke. And I've said so much of America is disconnected from the border. They don't really get 10 million people walking in. You're going to go another 4 years, bring in another 10 million people, 15, whatever the hell it is. This is really madness. And you're going to go with this?
It's like because we've all watched too much TV in our lives. Even if they turn on the news and they see the facts, which they don't, because the news, this is the first time in our history, the people say, oh, every generation says this is the most important election. And yeah, that's true. But this is the first time that America has truly, truly had their media completely captured to where it's not just here and there you catch a
No,
lie.
it's Pravda. It's
It's all
Pravda. It's
lies.
Pravda.
It is absolutely. It's the Weimar Republic. They want to call Trump Hitler. Look at what they're doing.
No, and there's a reason why people are turning to OAN and Real America News, and everybody freaks out and says, "Oh, they're so far right." No, it's people are dying for someone to not look them in the eye and say, "Oh, she wasn't the border czar." It doesn't. She's
Yeah.
call it whatever the fuck you want. It doesn't matter if you call her the czar. She was the vice president of the administration that opened the border. That's all. I don't care.
Yes.
Call her the czar. Call her the VP. Call her whatever the hell you want to call her. So,
Yeah,
that's where we are.
her answer to that question when they said, "Have you been to the border?" Well, I haven't been to Europe either.
No, yeah.
Doesn't that answer everything for you? If you have an IQ above 50, doesn't that
Wow.
tell you all you need to know about Scamala?
Susan, we're not talking about thinking that deeply here. The border is being invaded and they're paying for it. They're paying.
But until they have somebody in their backyard or in their house squatting, it's like I see it. They might see something on TV, but until it's
Told
in
you.
their home, until it's right in real
I've,
life,
I've,
they're like,
I've said it.
huh?
I've said it many times on this show. I'll be brief. Not New York, not Chicago. Drop them off in Shaker Heights, Ohio, Williamsville, New York, Grosse Pointe,
Shaker.
Grosse Pointe, Michigan, Hilton Head, South Carolina, just Des Moines, drop them in Des Moines, drop them in front of every elementary school in those cities. But it's not happening, Susan, because she's good looking, she's not white, and she's not a guy. And that's all we need to know. And inflation, there's no such thing as inflation. And there's no such thing as an open border, and there's no such thing as this as giving billions to Iran so that they can destroy Israel. None of it's real. All that's real is she makes me feel good, and that's where we're going.
Yes,
That's where we're
well,
going.
I have somebody very dear to me that likes to read children's fairy tale books so that she doesn't have to think about what's going on in the world. Um, I see countless things on Facebook going, I saw somebody who posted something that I don't agree with, and we're still friends. And you know what? I like that. I get that. And I swear to you, and I'm not talking out my hoo ha. If somebody actually asks me on Facebook, somebody cares enough and they're on the left and they care enough to ask me a question and to talk about something, I love it. I really love it. And I really do respect you because you care. Um, it's the people that go, Trump was colluding with Russia, or he said very fine people. It's that makes me angry. And I'm not angry at you because of your opinion. I'm angry at you because you're not doing your homework and you're the reason why we're all going to lose this. It, Kamala is what they deserve. They really do deserve her. But I don't, and you don't. And it's like being on an airplane seated next to an imbecile who decides that opening the window would be a good idea to let in some fresh air, and everybody dies because of their stupidity. We're going to lose this country because people are going, I don't want to talk politics.
And listen, I could not agree with you more. Let's talk for just a moment here. We had an interesting situation. 23 years after 9/11, the scum of the earth, who we had like three of these jihad bastards. I don't know why they weren't executed by now. And I'm not a big fan of the death penalty because it demands perfect justice. And man is not perfect, and innocent people will be executed.
I
However,
like that. We're the same on that.
however,
Playing God.
except on 9/11, okay? And if Khalid Sheikh Mohammed is still alive, I'm pissed. I had no idea why we hadn't executed them already. Um, Look, we waterboard our Navy SEALs. You know our Navy SEALs, the thing where it's almost impossible to become one. And thank God we have them because we need people to kill Osama bin Laden. There was a situation, Lloyd Austin actually reversed this. There was a plea deal for these 9/11 jihad bastards who deserve to be executed, that they were not going to get the death penalty. And they killed 3,000 people, Americans. And Lloyd Austin just reversed it. I guess he felt a lot of political pressure, but the defense secretary reversed it. I'll give him hats off. These people, Susan, I think these people need to be executed. You masterminded 9/11. You masterminded 9/11.
I'm sorry, you claim to love death more than
Yeah,
we love life.
yeah. Thank
Give
you.
them what they want.
And they can go.
So that for all of Palestine too.
Yeah, exactly. And they're going to get 72 virgins up in heaven, so they should be looking forward to it. How is it 23 years? What the hell kind of legal system? People are saying, oh, it's because we tortured some of them. So dig them up and torture them again. I don't give a shit.
Yeah.
Torture who? What do you think? A guy sitting on 105th floor of the World Trade Center and he falls to his death? That wasn't torture? What do we owe these people? We don't owe these people anything.
I do like that America says, we're above this and that, and we have our standards, but we don't. It's a lie anyway. Look at all the messing around we do in other governments, all the stuff we do that we claim we don't do, but we do it. I don't know. What is it that they have on us? What, do they know that W masterminded it or something? Why are they still around?
Well, I don't know. I can only imagine the legal wrangling. And by the way, I've always said about 9/11, I take it on its face. I think that jihadists can cause that level of chaos.
Yes.
If you really, the level of, some people want to think it's some inside thing. I don't go along with it because People
It doesn't matter.
people can cause a level of chaos. One gunman can cause an enormous level of chaos, and people need to try to explain it to themselves. But anyway, what are you going to do? I was going to also say, since the last time we spoke, it's funny. The last time we spoke, Hezbollah killed a bunch of Israeli Arabs, children, all children, by the way, at a soccer field in northern Israel. They're Druze.
So they were
Yeah,
targeted.
they're Druze. They're not Jews, but they are Israeli Arabs, and they do, they do serve, and they're Israeli Arabs. And then, of course, Israel struck at Hezbollah and Hamas figures in Iran since the last time we spoke. I want to
Yeah.
applaud them for this, and I'd be very impressed if they had people inside Iran to pull this off. So they're awaiting Iran slash Hezbollah slash Iran slash Hamas's response right now. It's hard times in Israel because it's hard times because they're at war on at least one front, and the country is getting worn out from this.
Oh yeah, and they're not getting as much support from us. And I can understand. I'm a dove in a lot of ways. I can understand not wanting to fund things in Israel. I don't want to fund anything in Ukraine. Um, getting involved in these never-ending wars is nothing but. Well, I mean, if you're not just watching the news and going, "Duh, duh, 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 duh," then it. This is a moneymaker. This is a cash cow for people. Not for you. It's not going to make you any money, but war is profit. So that's the reason why a lot of wars are waged. But so I mean, like my thing about uh, vote for Trump so you don't have to send your kids and grandkids to another pointless war because Kamala will certainly get us into one. But when it comes to the Israeli conflict, I'm like, yeah, go baby,
And they're not
because
asking
it's
for they're not asking for American soldiers to spill their blood. They may ask for
not.
munitions because they have nowhere else to go, but
Yeah, because this is a worldwide war, which nobody wants to face and nobody wants to admit it. But this is a holy war, and it's being waged in England right now. It's being waged in Scandinavia. It will be here on our soil. We saw it. We got a little taste of it on 9/11. This is an ideology that would be fine. There wouldn't be a problem. Just like if you didn't hire illegal workers, the whole immigration thing here, it would have solved itself if you find the companies that hired them. Um, this could solve itself if we weren't making these Islamist countries filthy rich. The Abraham Accords were great. Trump was cutting off the resources for Iran so that they couldn't sponsor terror all over the world. And Biden went in
and he
and
re- yeah
changed
he yeah
that
he,
all
he
up.
restarted the Obama doctrine. He restarted the Obama
Yes,
doctrine, which is that we're going to shift our alliances. God knows why to the Ayatollahs. I have no idea why.
because it's a Muslim.
Well, listen,
And he believes in the holy
look,
war and he's on their side. Sorry, you don't get to leave the religion. He's still a Muslim.
listen. Well, listen. This is people. Again, Israel's facing an existential battle. And an existential battle is for Americans to sit here and wave our fingers at them from 7,000 miles away. The knife is at their throat, literally. Okay, yeah, they're not. This isn't an abstraction for them, and so all I can say is when Kamala Harris stabs Netanyahu in the back when he leaves the meeting, and the next day she's got some things she's upbraiding Israel for. And I want to say this. I wonder whether she will appoint Josh Shapiro as her vice president because Susan, a lot of people don't understand. So they'll say, why, if she wants to appease the squad, why would she put a Jew up for vice president? And I say, you don't understand. That's exactly why she'll do it, and I'll tell you why. Because it draws her back toward the center. She can rail about how much she loves Hamas all day long, and then she can point to Josh Shapiro, who says Netanyahu's an awful leader. And she can point to him and say, well, you see, I have a Jewish running mate, which makes everything okay. And it pulls me back to center. Because people don't understand how deeply divorced the Jewish population in America is over standing up for Israel. I've said before, at least half of Jewish America is not supporting Israel the way they should. And Josh Shapiro is one of those people. And, I can go down the list of Chuck Schumer and Jerry Nadler. This is exactly why she may select Josh Shapiro, because it pulls her back to center,
Yes.
makes her look normal. This is how deeply divorced the Jewish people are in this country. See, people think, oh, he's Jewish, everybody's 100% Israel. They're not. They're like Bernie. Half the
No.
Jews in this country are like Bernie Sanders. They hate Israel. And that's my speech. And I think she's going to go. I think she may go for Josh Shapiro, Susan. I really do.
But what these she might, and what these people don't understand is that it isn't just about Israel. The hatred is for Jews, and that includes everybody. I don't care how much you say, I'm not a Zionist, I'm a progressive, I'm a liberal. Doesn't matter, you're a Jew, you're hated. This is about hating a specific people. And of course, all humans should be against that. Um, but certainly all Jews who are in the crosshairs should be against it. I watched Michael Rappaport on
Oh, he was interesting. He
stage.
changed his mind. Did you hear?
Oh,
He said he's going for Trump.
well, yes, and this is why I love people from the other side that come over, because they have all the right reasons and they admit that they were lied to. They were basing their opinions on what they were told. Now, he still won't vote for Trump. He says he probably isn't going to vote, but he's definitely not voting for Kamala. The guy's on the right
This
path.
is
I have a feeling he will.
he was just in Israel for like 3 weeks. And I have
Yeah, he's been there 4 times since October
I
7th.
have a feeling some people talk some sense into him, or he just saw with his own 2 eyes that this is not some abstraction. This is not bullshit. This is
Yeah,
real.
yeah.
And
Oh, he had so many good things to say where he's just like, I was wrong.
yeah.
I was wrong.
Well,
And of course, anybody that admits
look,
that has my heart.
look at me. I'll go look in the mirror. I've always said, back in the 90s, I went to a socialist bookstore in Chicago. So I was about 25 years old or so. I went to a socialist bookstore in Chicago. Every single thing that the left had to say was, I hate Israel. I hate Israel. I hate Israel. And I'm just going down the line. So then I started to look at the writings of black conservatives like Thomas Sowell and Stanley Crouch and people like this and Glenn Lowry. And I said, oh my God, I'm much more of a conservative libertarian than I ever thought I was. I'm not a Democrat. And by 2000 or so, I said, I can't stand for this anymore. So I grew up Democrat. I mean, that's what I grew up. But I changed my mind. I'm a second thoughts conservative, libertarian or whatever, second thoughts conservative. It's the way it is. I couldn't stand for this I hate Israel shit anymore.
Well, unfortunately, the official Libertarian Party hates Israel.
No, I know,
And
I know, I know.
I
Yeah,
joined the
yeah.
party because I got tired of being a party pooper. Because I left the Republicans. My whole family was Republican, and Ronald Reagan was like a family member in my childhood. And I got smarter than everybody. And but it wasn't until 2003 that because I just couldn't stand W. I left the Republican Party. So that was quite a while ago. Then I decided to join the Libertarians because I thought I want to see a third party give the other two a run for their money. And actually, it was Dave Smith, listening to Dave Smith, that really convinced me that I was a libertarian until he starts talking about Israel.
Yeah.
And it's like, Dave, I have to sit you
No,
down
I know.
and teach you about Islam.
No, I agree. I also, there's other things about the libertarians I don't like, Susan, which is that you can talk about isolationism all day long, but I'm going to tell you something. You have to live in the real world. And if you want to isolate, China will be glad to swoop right in. Okay.
Yeah,
They'll be glad to swoop right in. Russia will be glad to swoop right in and exert their influence. And then you can live in China's world. So, and the libertarians also aren't real serious about actually getting elected. I don't like
Yeah.
ideological.
Their latest candidate.
No, and I also don't like ideological purity contests. If you want people to vote, voting, it's not an ideological purity contest. Tribute to stupidity. My tribute to stupidity is Kamala Harris and her root causes. I want to remind everyone, and as you hear the kitty cat in the background, who
You can hear her.
agrees with me 100. No, she
Yes.
agrees. Bellatrix agrees with me 100%.
She does.
This is what Bellatrix and I have been saying for a long time. You can pave the streets of Guatemala in gold, and they will still flock to the United States of America. Kamala Harris, your whole idea of root causes is imbecilic and infantile. And not only do we need a wall, we need the freaking National Guard on the border. What country would put up with the crap that we're putting up with? Kamala Harris, you are truly stupid. There you go. And there you are.
You know, I want to add to that, because if your house is on fire, and you could have a discussion with somebody about the electrical problems in your house that created the fire. That would be a root cause.
Yes.
Okay. And you can talk about root causes all you like, but if your house is on fire, maybe you better put that fire out first.
Yeah, I agree.
And I've been saying that for a while. Our country's on fire. Trump has the fire hose. Let's put out the fire, and then rebuild.
Tribute to stupidity.
Okay, mine is, I forget how many of them there are, but all of those white dudes for Harris that got on their phone call. Now, granted, I think that the white females for Harris was a little bit more vomit inducing, because you had all these white women talking about how you deal with black people. And I mean, they're talking about them like they're zookeepers, talking about wild animals. You don't look them in the eye. Don't ever correct them. No sudden movements. And if you wear red, that can be a problem. I mean, just don't wear perfume. You know, that can get going. It's the most racist thing I've ever seen. And most of the racism that I see comes from the left, because that's where it's always come from. They did create the Ku Klux Klan, and the Democrat Party was established to keep slavery. But I mean, these guys, come on, you know, some of them I like. I'm learning how to separate the artist from the politics, because most of the artists that I love are slack-jawed, knuckle-dragging, drool bucket idiots when it comes to politics. And I just have to accept that, because I still love their art. Jeff Bridges is like, I mean, my family and his family, they were friends. They were neighbors. And my mother, well, anyway, I have a certain love for him. I've never met.
What did he say? I saw his name in the news this week.
He's among them. I don't know. He was there mainly because he played the dude.
Oh, he's the white dude. He's the white dude. He's the white dude for Kamala.
Yeah, white dudes for Harris. So this was a Zoom call with all these white guys who seem to have absolutely no idea that there are poor white people. Imagine being so privileged, being such a pampered penis, that you have no clue that there are impoverished white people. Go to the Appalachians and tell them about their privilege.
Listen, I just read J.D. Vance's book, and it is interesting how people who are that impoverished are called privileged. It's kind of shocking.
And Thomas Sowell says it's not race. It's not race that determines this. It is class. That, you know, if you're born into poverty, it's going to be really hard for you to get out of it, no matter what color you are. And that is the way to approach it. And the best system, of course, is capitalism, but that's real capitalism and not corporate cronyism. But anyway, so all these Hollywood elites just, sitting back and virtue signaling and, taking the moral high ground because they're so cool. Mark Hamill was among them. God
Yeah,
bless.
well,
Brilliant actor, not a brilliant man.
no,
Um,
not a brilliant man.
no, and just pontificating and thinking that they're taking the moral high ground. I think that's what makes me so angry at the left is that they don't they're not just wrong, they're pretending to be superior without thinking it through.
All right, there she is, Susan Olson. Another great episode of The Crusher. Susan, great to see you. Thank you for joining me. And love.
And that I said,
Yay!
love the Yankees.
Everyone loves Bellatrix. Hold up Bellatrix again. Hold her up. Hold her up. Hold her up. Hold her up.
You know,